This is a special presentation from WMBD News, Road to Reopening, a look ahead at the statewide recovery from COVID-19.
The COVID-19 pandemic started 15 months ago, forcing a shutdown across the state of Illinois.
Tomorrow, that all changes as June 11th marks the end of the pandemic-driven restrictions across the state. Over the next hour, we'll be joined by our sister stations in Champaign, Rockford, and the Quad Cities to look ahead at the state fully reopening and what brought us to this point.
I was just focused on saving lives. That's my job as governor, right? You run for office thinking I want to make people's lives better.
Nobody campaigns on a stay-at-home order.
Nobody campaigns thinking about a global pandemic is going to come and you're going to have to do things to keep people alive.
Phase 5 starts tomorrow. No restrictions. We can go. Janet, a lot of people might be traveling with children who aren't vaccinated. What kind of advice do you have for them?
I think you still need to take some precautions. We know that children have asymptomatic symptoms, and we know that sometimes kids can get other people infected. We just need the people who can get vaccinated to be vaccinated.
It's a good feeling to be able to, get back to, Friday, Saturday nights having this place packed.
Up until the end of the bridge phase, this is what business looked like in Crane Alley and really across much of Illinois. But with an end in sight, customers and owners say they're relieved that's all about to change.
When can we say we are past the pandemic, we are done with this, we've made it to the other side?
Really, for vaccinated people, things are getting back to normal. We're able to do things maskless. We're able to, travel safely, be around other people, not distance. But for those who don't vaccinate, this virus is going to continue circulating, and they will not be protected unless they are vaccinated or they have immunity.
I think a lot of people want to know, is the pandemic over?
No, that's a super important question. And it's really important that we make that clear that the pandemic is not over. We obviously are in a better situation here in Illinois. We have the lowest number of cases, the lowest test positivity that we've ever had in this entire COVID journey. We are going to be in a situation where we are more controlling it than the virus controlling us.
Was there ever a realistic chance to contain the coronavirus or stop it from getting out? And if so, where did we miss that?
Clearly, there were already cases in the state before those first identified cases. It's not like, we identified a case on January 24th, and that individual had come directly from the hotspot, which was Wuhan. I'm sure on that plane were hundreds of others. So we clearly missed people who must have had it, who may have been circulating in the community.
What does the road to reopening for the state of Illinois look like?
I believe that we need to look at this as moving from a pandemic to an endemic, that it's going to be with us for a long, long time.
Dr. Jarrett, you and I had a conversation back in March before everything shut down. I don't think either of us thought restrictions would last this long.
It was so unprecedented, Eric. We really didn't know what to expect. And all we knew was that we were getting very serious information from medical experts.
Beth, some of those changes that aren't strictly learning-based really need to stick around, right?
If we just go back to school in August and say, it's time for algebra, let's go. And we don't take time to acknowledge what we've all been through, to process some of what happened and talk it through and engage in some activities that kind of tap into that social and emotional learning, we won't be ready for the academic learning.
We could certainly spend hours listing the concerts, sporting events, festivals, and more that were canceled in Illinois because of the pandemic. Can you put a general price on what the losses meant?
Well, you put the economic impact in the millions and the millions upon millions.
Paul Rumler, I haven't forgotten about you. You work with businesses in Illinois and Iowa in this border community of the Quad Cities. Business owners in Iowa have been able to serve customers in person for months. How hard do you think it will be for the businesses in Illinois to get back up to speed and compete with their counterparts in Iowa?
The workers are in high demand right now, so I think that the pressure on the Illinois businesses to come back is going to be a little bit higher and a little bit more challenging for them.
Thank you for joining us tonight for this Road to Reopening special.
It's been a long 15 months, and while there may still be some bumps in the road, we can all be hopeful for better times ahead. We hope you have a safe and wonderful summer.
Have a good night.